All right, guys, phenomenal morning. What is up? This is Breakfast with the Brand, the number one podcast in the world for people, entrepreneurs, professionals who want to build industry leading brands. My name is Junior Ray Frederick. I'm your host, and I'm calling in from the 7-5 Great or the 758. We have an amazing show for you today. If you're just coming into the room, I need you to do two things for me. Number one, put some flames in the chat. So on Breakfast with the Brand, we have what we call a flame culture, right? So when you come in, make sure to put your flames in the chat and also let us know where you're listening in from. So it's gonna be an amazing show. I have with me Mr. Shaan Rais himself. So Shaan, are you present? Are you in the building?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
All
Good
right.
morning.
Hold on.
Phenomenal morning.
Hold on. So guys,
What happened, sir?
what do you notice that's different? I want to say good morning. Good morning to Deborah. Is this the real Shaan Rais?
It is.
Is this the white shirt, red tie?
Yes, sir. Don't you see the white shirt, the red tie?
Hold on. Guys, put it in the chat. What is different about Shaan? I don't know. Something is different about him, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is. It seems like somebody put
I still
something.
got the Batman cup. This is what's going on.
Okay. All right. So, in Branded Like a Leader, guys, we learned about something called changing your attire to match your desire. So, Mr. Rise, I have to ask you, what is with the change in attire? What's going on? What's the secret? What's happening?
Well, I think you just said it. Change your attire to match your desire. You have to continue to reinvent yourself, right? You want to continue to upgrade and up level the brand. It's not about where you're at. It's not about where you came from. That's the origin brand story, but you always have to be dressed for the future. What is the future of the brand? What is the future of your personal brand? What does that look like? What does that look like? What does the next 10 years look like? That's what I'm going to say. What does the next 10 years look like? And if it's the same, it can become antiquated, right? It can become antiquated, stoic, a relic. So I want everybody who's paying attention not only to exist in the moment, but exist for the future. What does that future look like for you? What does that future look like for your business? Where are you going? And then what is the proper attire? What is the proper language? What words do you not know? What conversations are you not a part of that you want to interject your perspective into that narrative and then become that person in the present so you can walk into that phenomenal future?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Well, I think everybody in the chat would agree that you look quite sharp, sir.
Oh, well, thank you, brother.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very much. I greatly appreciate that. Coming from you, that's a compliment.
You already know. You already
Yes,
know.
sir.
I wanna, of course, recognize a couple people there. So, Mr. B, if you could just bring up everybody one by one. And I see we have Deborah. I want to say good morning to Deborah. That's right.
Morning.
Right. Happy rising. I see we have Yvonne. Yvonne Murphy checking in from New York City. LinkedIn in the building. So quick shout out to all my people on LinkedIn. We love you. That's right. Charmaine. It's all right. So Charmaine's in Texas. Some flames in the chat. I think we have Coach B. I could have sworn I saw Coach B in the building as well. Oh, there we go. So good morning, Coach B. How you doing?
Good
Uh,
morning. Good morning.
yes, sir. So where do I begin?
Maybe watch this. Maybe I wore the jacket for LinkedIn.
Okay.
Maybe I wore the jacket for LinkedIn because we're on LinkedIn as well now. You know, we've been on Facebook, been on YouTube, been on IG. You know, maybe this is a move into a different segment. I want you to think about that. You're in a specific segment. You're serving a specific segment. What is your next segment? What is your next segment? What is the next best version?
That's right. The next best version. So, guys, it's all about changing your attire to match your desire. So, what is your desire? And what are you doing? How are you presenting yourself for your desire, right? How are you making yourself available to achieve that desire? You
Mm.
know, so on the last breakfast with the brand, I gave a little story. And at the end of the story, I said that the best ability is availability. So
Mm.
are you available, right? Are you available to chase
Hold on,
those
hold
dreams?
on, hold on. That was a pin moment. Go right ahead, sir. Go right ahead.
Right, that's right. So I said that the best ability is availability, and part of being available is showing up, but also showing up in a way that represents where you want to go, as Shaan was just saying. So, guys, we're gonna take a short break. In a couple seconds, when we come back, we're gonna dive into sort of the mindset, the skill set, the secrets of speaking and of high performance. Take us to the break, Mr. B. Let's go. All right, guys, we're back. Welcome to Breakfast with the Brand. We are talking about the keys to high performance and, of course, the secrets to closing from the stage. Quick shout out goes to LaShawn. I want to send a quick shout out to LaShawn and congratulations on the publishing of your book. We definitely recognize that. Also, quick shout out to Jackie. So, Mr.
Hold on for 1 second, sir. I think they're both in Florida. I
Are they?
heard I heard it was snowing this morning in
Oh,
the Sunshine State.
really?
Yeah, I heard that it was snowing this morning in the Sunshine State. I believe that there's a East Coast snowstorm taking place. So now I heard that Florida is getting the same treatment that New Jersey and New York always has.
Jackie, is that true?
Yeah, put that in the chat. Are you guys waking up to a bed of snow? Talk about that.
I thought it didn't
Yeah,
Florida. Like I thought Florida was like, hey, in the Caribbean.
I think it's okay. Jackie says not where she's at. Okay, okay. There's an East Coast snowstorm though. That's definitely something I wanted to speak to.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Tiffany Davis says, nope, y'all still in the Sunshine State. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's get into it, Mr. Junior. I heard that you have a couple questions speaking to some of our very favorite topics.
Yes, sir. I mean, my first question would be, you wrote the book, right? Best-selling book, The Seven Prerequisites to Success.
Yes, sir.
Now, I consider you a super high performer, right? I consider you a super high performer. So,
Thank
my
you.
first question to you would be, what are the prerequisites to a high performance mindset from your perspective? What are the prerequisites to somebody, I guess, embracing and becoming a high performance individual? What is the mindset?
Future pacing. Future pacing. That's one of the beginnings to being a high performance individual. Future pacing. Don't pace yourself for the present. When I wrote the book, I wasn't writing the book for the present. I was writing the book for the future. I was writing the book for now. I was writing the book for 2030, right? You always want to be on par with future pacing and future best practices. Times evolve so fast that as soon as the ink dries, things have changed. As soon as the ink dries on your little manuscript,
Right.
industry best practices have already changed, or maybe even changed 2 or 3 times, because you have to think when you write the book and then when it's published, that could be a year, that could be 5 months. Within that time frame, things changed once, twice, maybe 3 times. So by the time you publish the book, you're actually writing about last year or the year before that, unless you future pace yourself. And that's the same thing that you have to do with your mindset. Myself and we had Dr. Ed. We had Dr. Ed on Clubhouse yesterday, and we were speaking about artificial intelligence, right? Some people are still talking about IT, but IT is a little bit of an antiquated conversation because IT is evolving into AI. So if you're not abreast of the new conversation, you'll get left behind, as well as all of the different trades and skills that are no longer needed. In the 7 prerequisites to success, I went through multiple industries and well-earning trades and careers that no longer existed. Before there was an alarm clock, there was what they called a knocker upper. These these people used to walk around with long sticks. Yeah, a knocker upper. They walked around with long sticks and they would stretch the sticks out and they would tap on the windows from outside to wake up the person on the inside. There
Wow.
used to be called rat catchers in New York. Rat catchers, and they made a good living. And then it was gone. And then the alarm clock came. And those positions where you could no longer feed your family. So you had to upgrade your skill set consistently. So being a high performer is being abreast, staying abreast of industry best practices and anticipating the next wave and being ready for it.
That's a very, very good answer. I had no. It's my first time hearing this thing about knocker uppers. Sounds like a lot of work to
Yeah,
wake
it
up
was
in
in my book.
the morning.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
Remember bowling. Think about bowling. I'm gonna give you one more. In bowling, you know the machine that sets the pins in place?
Yes, yes.
There used to be people behind the pins. There was
Right.
no machine that set the pins in place. When you got done, when the bowl stopped rolling, people used to put those pins back in place. Yes, sir. And then innovation outplaced them. Innovation outplaced them. You don't want to be outpaced or outplaced, displaced, or misplaced by innovation. In order to do that, in order to stay relevant, write that part, write that word down. In order to stay relevant, right? In order to stay relevant, you have to stay atop of what the industry market trends are and stay ahead of it.
That's right. And you know, this sort of it sort of goes into some of the stuff we teach, right? It's like certain skills, high-end luxury skills like coaching, like speaking, which we'll be talking about this morning. You know, I heard that some McDonald's they already started with the robot making the burger and all that. So, you
Yeah,
know, certain
yeah,
skills they're going away, and you know, certain skills they're here to stay.
that's
Certain
right.
skills are going away, certain skills are here to stay. Uh, so, guys, high-end luxury skills, coaching, speaking, branding and positioning, marketing, these things they never go away. You know, they're never gonna go away, and that's some of what we teach. I will be talking about the speaking here today. I want to recognize before we go to the next question. I want to recognize some new viewers. So I see we have Amal in the building. Can you bring up Amal, please, Mr. B?
Good
Tiffany,
morning.
good morning, Amal. I see we also have Naomi. Naomi, good morning.
Good
Are you there?
morning.
If you're coming in, let us know. Let us know where you're listening in from. Also put that in the chat. Right. I see Deborah. Okay. All right. So that was an excellent answer, Sean. I have another question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's also based on high performance, but it's from a coach's perspective. So from a coach's perspective, you know, what are some of the hurdles that most people encounter when it comes to implementing information? Because what I'm seeing is a lot of people getting information, but when it comes to the implementation of that information, sometimes people they just run into hurdles for whatever reason that may be. So it's a two-part question. What are the most common hurdles, and what are some simple, if there is such a thing, simple things that you know somebody could do to help them to overcome those hurdles when it comes to implementing what they learn?
Very good. Very good. Common hurdles are procrastination. Coming from the nation of procrasta, right? Coming from the nation of procrasta,
Never heard that one. Uh-huh.
procrastination. That's one of the common hurdles. People have an issue with actually getting started, right? They have an issue with actually getting started. That's a common hurdle. Another common hurdle is a misconception, but I'm going to speak to it anyway. People say, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. Those are two common hurdles that people have when it comes to implementation. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. And then I'll do it later, right? The procrastination piece. So those three are the ones that I'll speak to as far as being the most common.
Mhm.
And it's all number one, overthinking. Number one, overthinking. What stops people from getting started is the thought of where they're going to be next year, right? They try to imagine themselves in front of a crowd of 50,000 when it comes to speaking. They overthink it. They don't start where they are. When you start where you are, you go live in front of you, right? You use your phone and you go live in front of you. And then you go live in front of 2. And then you go live in front of 5. And then you're speaking in front of 10. And that's how it grows. So those are seizing the inches. Seizing the inches. Don't worry about the miles. If you seize the inches immediately in front of you, the miles will take care of themselves. But many people they try to think miles and miles ahead, and they end up never moving and never beginning in the present. So that's one hurdle. Another one is the false concept of having no money. I want to explain to you, there's a reason why money is referred to in economics as currency. Currency. And I broke this down in the 7 prerequisites to success as well. Currency is energy. Currency is energy. So think about the current, think about the wattage, think about the voltage. That's all that money is. So you can actually replace money with human resources, people's efficiency and energy, and it will replace the absence of liquid. It will replace the absence of liquid. And then liquid will replace the absence in no time. Money follows movement, not the other way around. That's what people say. People say, well, when I get money, then I'll. When I get money, then I'll. And that time never happens, right? So you have to move first, the money follows, not the other way around. The same thing goes with time. Time is another hurdle. Well, I don't have the time for it. I'll wait until my children are grown, or I'll wait until the perfect time. Guys, the perfect time is right now. The perfect time is when you move. As a matter of fact, watch this. The perfect time to have planted a tree was 10 years ago. That's the perfect time. The perfect time to learn how to speak effectively was 10 years ago. You'd be killing it on YouTube right now. The best time to build the brand and start the business and go hard and write the book was 10 years ago. If you did that, then you might be here with us on the screen with a tribe and a community of 350, 3,500. The next best time is right now. The next best time is right now. So if you want to sit in the shade of your work, if you want to take a vacation based on your work, if you want your children to have options, learn discipline from going to school and learn discipline from going to work, but have options to come work with mommy, come work with daddy. The next best time to start and go hard is right now. So when you ask me the easiest way to overcome those, you use the word simple. What I'm going to say is selfless. Selfless. See, people are self-centered. That's a fact. People are self-centered. They think self first. How is this going to help me? How is this going to help myself? I have to do something for myself. You should be doing something for yourself. But let me show you the divide. The divide is fish and less. Write that down. The divide is fish and less. I'm going to take them to the fish store. I'm going to take them to 145th Street. I'm going to take them to Harlem. I'm going to take them to the fish spot, right? The difference between your work and not working is fish and less. You're either selfish or you're selfless. If you're selfish, then you're saying, oh, everything is about me. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. My children will just figure it out because I can't figure it out. That's a very selfish perspective. A selfless perspective is I'm going to sacrifice the next 10 years of my life on the altar of hard work and sacrifice. So my children have options. So they get to make a choice. And I get to help empower them. Right? I saw a tweet from Ice Cube. And he was talking about his son and how he empowers his son to get acting gigs in Hollywood. And he said some people said that he shouldn't do that. And what he said was other generations, nationalities, and people have been helping their children become millionaires for years. He said, I'm going to help mine. And that's how I felt when I came to that crook in the road, when I came to that fork in the road between fish and less. I said, well, I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to be selfless so that my children have options and they have choices and they have inheritances and they have land and they have opportunity. This is the land of opportunity, but opportunities won't come to you. And if let me say it this way. If you were born without the opportunities, if you don't have the inheritance fund, then it's your job to make it for your children. Again, we don't get to choose who our parents were or the decisions that they made, but we get to choose who our children's parents will be, and we are the owners of the decisions that we make. This is not the time for excuses. This is the time for action and the time for sacrifice and the time for being selfless and not selfish. If you exist in that space, there will be no such thing as not enough money, not enough time, or having a passport from the land of Procrasta, the nation of Procrasta.
The nation of Procrasta. Thank you so much, Shaan.
You're welcome.
Guys, if you enjoyed this, put some flames in the chat. If you enjoyed this, we're gonna go to a short break. When we come back, we'll be getting into some more content. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. My name is Junior Ray Frederick. If you're tuning in today, I want to say good morning and welcome. We are diving into keys of high performance, and we're actually going to be getting into some speaking. So if you just coming in, what I would like you to do, two things. Put some flames in the chat if you just coming in, and also let us know where you're listening in from. I have with me the king of branding and positioning, Mr. Shaan Rais. What's up, sir? How you doing?
Absolutely phenomenal, no complaints whatsoever. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Always has been, always will be.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree. Yeah. So we want to get into some speaking, right? Speaking, guys. If you didn't know, in fact, let me not say anything. Let me let Shan sort of come in, right? Because that's look at him. He can't wait. He can't wait. Hold on, guys. Put it in the chat. How many of you would love to become a speaker? Let's see how many people we have. Put that in the chat. If
Mm,
that is something that you've always been interested in or you've always been curious about, put a number one in the chat, right?
mm.
If you've always been curious about speaking, put a number one in the chat. And while we're waiting for those numbers to come in, Shan, my first question to you is this. Who qualifies to become a speaker? Is it possible? Is that reality possible for everybody? Do you need to have a special, is it something like you have to have a special talent? And in fact, let's start there. So do you have to have a special talent to become a speaker? Are speakers born or are they created? So what would you say?
I would say there is a propensity at birth sometimes. So one of my I'm not going to lie. One of my children came out speaking. One of my children came out talking. I said, "Good God, this guy is going to be a problem." One of my sons came out talking. He literally came out. I said, "Wow, this guy's going to be a problem." I already knew it. I already knew it, right? So some people are born talking. I think I was one of those people. I think I was one of those people. I have been in trouble. I used to say that they gave me a special seat in school for my speaking ability. It was right next to the principal's office. It was right next to the principal's office. He loved to hear me talk. As soon as he came out, some people just can't stop talking. I was one of those people. I just had to find out what my content was. I had to tap into my content flow, right? I had to find the content. But I spoke and spoke and spoke, and that was one of the things that I was known for in school. Sean, shut up. I thought shut up was my last name for a little while. I thought my name was Sean, shut up, right? I used to sign it in school. For real, I used to talk all the time. So listen, some people have the natural propensity for speaking. Now, other people, they bloom later. They find their content and comfortability and topic later, their passion and purpose later. And something happens that triggers them and lights them up. So if you've ever seen someone go through trauma, it's a true story. If you've ever seen someone go through trauma, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old, they'll go through something and they'll close their mouth. Oprah, as a matter of fact, went through something in her life where she lost her voice. Put it in the chat if you've ever lost your voice. You saw something that you wasn't supposed to see. Something happened to you that wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it took your confidence away. It literally took your breath away. There used to be a term, cat tongue. The cat's got her tongue, right? And your tongue used to go into a bag and you couldn't speak anymore. As a people, we have suffered some things. We have seen some things that we weren't supposed to see, and some things may have happened to us that were not supposed to happen. And in that process, we lost our voice. I want to help you find your voice. I want to help you find your voice. And we'll talk about that more as the weeks progress towards speaking like a leader. I don't want to go too deep into that right now, but what I wanted to say was this. The same way some people lose their voice, some people find their voice. So just in case you're one of those people that something happened to, or you saw something you were not supposed to, usually at a younger age, and it took your voice, cat got your tongue, we're giving those back during Speaking Like a Leader.
That's right. And it'll be super, super powerful, guys. Super powerful. I wanna recognize the new people who just stepped into the room. So I think we have I see Tara. I want to send a quick shout out to Tara. Tara, phenomenal morning to you.
Good morning.
I
Good
see we
morning.
have brand team is in the building. They Sean Monique. Shout out to you. I see Tasha.
Good morning.
If you just listening in, if you just coming in, let us know where you coming in from. They just put it in the chat like where are you from? We love to recognize our people from all over the world. Like we normally have Africa, we have Europe. I think Naomi said she's in Ireland. So Ireland is in the building this morning. All right. So Sean, my next question is let's see, where do I begin? There's so much when it comes to speaking, so much. I wanna talk a little bit about writing. I had somebody ask me a question yesterday, in fact, about the writing process because they're trying to write a book. And I
Oh,
was telling them that, as you may know, there is no speaker who's a speaker who doesn't have a book. Every speaker has a book.
yes,
Every
sir.
speaker has a book. But I'm just curious, what are some similarities with speaking and writing when it comes to the process, and can tapping into your ability to speak help your process as far as it relates to writing? Can it free up? Because some people are stuck. Like, I want to write a book, I feel stuck, right? So, can you tapping into that ability to speak? Can that free up your mind so you could write? I'm just curious.
I'm so glad that you asked me that question because I'm gonna give a hack. How many people would like a hack? Put in the chat if you'd like a hack right now. I'm gonna help you out.
Guys, if you want the hack, put a number
If you want
one
a
in,
hack, if you want a hack, put it in the chat.
put a number one in the chat. Let's see.
Get some responses first.
That's
Dr. Mack from Houston, Texas. Okay.
all right. Let's bring up Mr. B. So
Okay, Naomi. Okay, okay. Here they come. Here come the ones. Here come the ones. So, guys, if you put a one in the chat, watch this. If you can go live, you don't even have to go live. If you can press record, if you have a phone, you can write your book. Or let me say this, you can have your book written for you. All you have to do is dictate to the phone. And you can write your book within 3 hours. I taught this during Branded Like a Leader, week number 2. Week number 2, I taught what we call the 10 PD framework. Now, a part of that 10 PD framework was writing. But there was an option that many people did not catch. Kind of like deer in the, deer in the headlight. It kind of froze, right? But there's another option to the 10 PD framework, and that is speaking. If you can record your voice and speak into your phone, you can record your book. You can dictate your book and have it transcribed and then edited. You don't have to write one word. I taught that in Branded Like a Leader, week number 2, 10 PD framework. Some people like to take the hard way, and it's perfectly fine. I did it the hard way. But you don't have to do what Shaan Rais did. You can do it your own way. You can do it the easy way. You can do it the quicker way. You can do it the lightning fast way. But again, you have to be able to organize your thoughts around a central theme. You can't just freestyle. It's not as easy as we make it look. We make it look easy because we've been doing it for years. So when you hear me say that I'm not scripted, that's true, but that doesn't mean I'm not well thought out. You understand? There's a difference. There's no script. I'm not reading from a book. I'm not reading from a prompter, a teleprompter, but I have a teleprompter in front of my eyes subconsciously from more than 10 years of deep study on specific subject matters that are interrelated. And it's easy for me through practice, through consistency, to be able to summarize these references, quotes, points, specific topics, and making them salient to certain points that I want to make on a topic as I speak. It's syntax. It's summoning certain topics, phrases, suggestions, opinions, and bringing them to bear on a topic and subject matter as I'm speaking. It comes together from practice. You get better at this as you go. You do not have to memorize. You do not have to script, but it still has to make sense. It still has to make sense. So when I was 14, I did a poem in City College, and that was written. And I read it off the paper. So when you're beginning to speak, to keep you on topic, to keep you from going off topic and veering off subject because of anxiety or frustration or fear or the anxiety and apprehension to speak publicly, you may want to write something down, memorize it, but as you progress, you become more fluent and more comfortable in speaking. And when you use a microphone or a phone or a dictaphone, I used to call them dictaphones, to record your book, you want to make sure that you have either the ability to do it from the top of your head, or you want to have specific bullet points that you want to touch on. So if you took a topic a day and for maybe 7 days or 10 days or 13 days, put forth a half hour on a specific topic, then you would have your chapters and you would have your body of work. That's one way that I know, proven, evidence-based, that speaking and the art of communication can help you comprise your book.
That's right. And on that note, we'll be taking a short break. Let's go.
What I want you to do is I want you to really think about the competency that you bring to the game. What do you really bring to the marketplace? A lot of people have an education in one thing, but then they say they want to do something else. They'll watch somebody on YouTube, and because they watch them and they seem to be making an impact, they want to change their whole story, change their whole repertoire, and become that person. And what happens when you do that is you become inauthentic. You're no longer authentic, and you're trying to bring someone else's expertise out of you, but you don't know what that person went through to get that expertise. And now you're not speaking in your gift or your expertise. So you lose your momentum when you do that. You lose your impact. You lose your sweet spot. And now you're a stranger on a strange island talking about a strange topic. And that's why people look at you like you're strange. And when you ask for money, they really look at you strange.
right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. If you're just coming in, put some flames in the chat. Let us know where you're listening in from. I have with me Mr. Shaan Rais. Shaan, what's up?
What's good, brother? What's good? Talk to me. Talk to me. How's I think that somebody said it was 37 degrees in Florida. Now, I don't know about snow. It might not be snowing, but it's pretty chilly. Pretty chilly out there. 37 degrees in Florida. That sounds like a sin.
Yeah, it is. It's funny, man. It is pretty chilly, even where I'm from. It is pretty.
Ah, mangoes, the mangoes. Now you got mango slushies, huh?
Man, you know what? On the next show, I'll bring a few things so y'all could see. I'll
Okay,
bring
okay. Good stuff.
yeah,
Just
but
make
it
sure
is
they're not
pretty.
frozen.
Nah. They good. They good.
All
None of
right.
that. None of that. Yeah, but I swear, man, like it is pretty chilly. I think this like they call it like La Nina or something like that. Some kind of
Mm,
breeze or whatever, right? But back into the questions. Guys, first and foremost, if you're enjoying, this morning, put a number one in the chat if you're enjoying the show this morning. Also, let us know where you're listening in from. Now, I want to ask you a question because we're moving into speaking like a leader very soon. And the
yes,
people are wondering, for the people who haven't signed up yet. And by the way, guys, it is early registration. If you have not signed up, then you most likely you should. If you want to make more money, if you want to get more clients to pay you more money with less resistance,
that's
then
right.
it's where you need to be. But for the people who haven't signed up yet, I want to ask you the question like, what can people look forward to in that course? Like, talk a little bit about that. How exactly is it structured? Are we going to see one another? I heard a rumor that hey, we might be, what can people look forward to like in that course? Talk a little bit about that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, guys. So listen, you're gonna find your voice first. First, that's first. Find your voice because a lot of people have lost their authentic voice. They're speaking for the company they work for. They're speaking for the family dynamic that they've been a part of. But many times we don't even know our origin brand voice. I taught origin brand story in Branded Like a Leader. I'm going to teach origin brand voice in Speaking Like a Leader. So that's first. The second is confidence. The confidence to speak. The comfortability. Some people are so anxious, they're so tight, they're so scripted that when they speak, it sounds like they're reading from a book. And if they miss one word, then everything is going to sound off. So they don't really talk comfortably. You understand? They're constricted. They're under so much
Right.
pressure that if anything was to happen, they might just fall down.
Mhm.
It's hard to connect that way. It's hard to connect. It's easy to speak, but it's hard to connect that way. So I'm going to show you how to find your voice, find your confidence, locate your confidence while speaking. Number 3, executive presence during presentations. Executive presence during presentation. So if you're on a job, this is going to help you get that promotion. This is going to help you advocate for yourself. This is going to help you to get roles and scripts if you're in the land of media, right? I've heard people say a lot of times when I was beginning that you have a radio voice. It's not that I have a radio voice, it's that I project my voice. I project. I speak from a deeper place than shallow breathing, chest breathing. It's called diaphragmic breathing. And it adds to your executive presence. So when I speak from a stage, I don't really need a microphone. I can use one. It accentuates the voice, but my voice is not beholden to it because I know how to summon deep breath. And that adds to your executive presence. I want to give you an example. Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, Barry White. Those are people who had deep voices and could project and command attention. So that's number 4. The commanding of attention. Some people speak, but they're still not heard. You ever notice that?
Oh, yeah.
You ever notice that? You speak, but nobody hears you, or they can't remember what you said. So that's number 5. I'm going to teach you anchoring. So what you say lands different. It hits different. It resonates. It takes anchor. It becomes embedded with the feeling. Because remember, Maya Angelou said they won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. Speaking like a leader, I'm going to show you how to have the commanding presence and anchor and also embed the feeling, the emotion. See, because Obama gave some phenomenal speeches and people don't remember the words that he said. But the hope was something that they felt. The hope was something that they felt. You couldn't tell me what he said. Right now, you could not tell me 3 sentences that he said together. But everybody, no one on this call can deny the feeling that they felt when they heard Obama speak. So that's number 5. Building a speaker brand. Building a speaker brand, a speaking brand. I'm going to show you the business of speaking, not just speaking for the sake of running your mouth, right? A lot of people like to speak because they have a mouth, and some people are teaching speaking, but no business behind it. So there's certified speakers running around, but not making any money from their speaking ability. And that's injustice. It's almost a conundrum. You can't be a professional speaker, certified speaker. You can't be a speaker if you're not getting a check. Let me say that. You can't be a speaker, a professional speaker, if you're not getting a check for speaking. What that means is you're just talking. You're just talking. So I'm going to show you how to command a check in the marketplace for your speaking. I'm also going to show you how to go from the stage to backstage. So what happens backstage when you get off the stage of speaking? When you get off the stage, your speech turns into your course. Your speech turns into your book. Your message turns into your movement. Your communication turns into your community. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to show you no less than 9 revenue streams. No less than 9 immediately monetizable revenue streams from your speaking business. There's the speaking brand and the speaking business. And I'm going to teach you both of them.
Super powerful. So I have a question. The question is for the people in the audience. In fact, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One is a request from you, Shaan. So guys, as you know, we have the Leadership Leverage community at 7, tomorrow at 7 p.m. East. So guys, before I make the request to Shaan, I want to ask you, everybody looking, would you like us to do a sort of pre-frame of speaking like a leader so you could learn more, get more information about how you can to speak to close. Would you like us to do that? Let me ask that. So, two conditions. It has to be tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday, 7 p.m. East. Can you make yourself available? So, one, put a one in the chat if you want to learn more information about how you could speak to close and how you could master some of the stuff that Shaan just spoke about. So, this is all about the audience's participation. This is a request, right? This is not scripted, just based on your enthusiasm. I want to know. Put a number one in the chat if you'd like us to do a special pre-frame for speaking like a leader. So let's see how many ones we get. If I get enough ones, then we're gonna go ahead and do this, guys. So if you're looking right now, like don't let each other down. If I don't get enough ones, it doesn't make sense. But if we get enough people who say that yes, I'm interested, I want to come, so just put it in the chat. Let's go. I see a couple ones coming in. I need at least 10 to 12 ones. Like I need at least 10 to 12 people there. It doesn't make sense if we only have 4 people there. Like I'm not gonna be there if there's only 4 people, so don't let each other down. Let's
That's
put it
right.
in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. Let's see. I see we have one, one, one.
We
Any
got a
more?
couple people putting 10 ones on themselves.
They put in 10 ones. So for my people on LinkedIn, I know we have LinkedIn looking. Like guys, just because we're pulling up the YouTube comments doesn't mean that we forgot you. Right?
That's
If
right.
if you're looking and you're on LinkedIn, please put your one in the chat if you're interested in learning how you could 100x your income. So whatever you're making right now, if you want to put zeros on the back of that, put a one in the chat. All right. So let's start bringing these ones up, Mr. B. If you haven't put your one yet, please put your one.
Let me give
All
a
right.
shout out to James Johnson. Gentleman has an MBA in marketing, calling in from Mississippi. Good morning, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome from LinkedIn, brother. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, Shaan. So I think we have a nice number of ones. So
Okay.
guys, y'all are interested. So my thing is, can you commit to coming tomorrow at 7 p.m. East? Tomorrow at 7 p.m. East. If you can commit, put some flames in the chat now. So
I
you
think
put your one,
Rosalind Smith,
confirm that. Let's confirm
NYC, said the same thing.
NYC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, guys. So if you
Coming
can,
out from under the snow.
that's right. That's right. I need a commitment now before I ask Shaan to do this, right? So I need a commitment. So if I can count on you to show up tomorrow, put some flames in the chat. If you can commit to that, it's gonna be 7 p.m. East tomorrow, right? So let's put that in. Let's give it a few seconds. So this is something you have to do it like quickly. We are winding down to like the close of the show. We have to do this pretty quickly. So let's go. Let's put some flames in the chat. All my people who put the ones, put some flames to confirm. So now that I have your interest, I want to confirm your interest. So put some flames in the chat. Let's see. So now I'm gonna ask Shaan. Shaan, can you commit now to being on the community at Sev? I know you said you wouldn't be there. I know Shaan doesn't even come to the calls anymore, guys. Believe it or not. I know you said you wouldn't be there. So for one last time, could you come to that particular call and do a light session, a live session with the people there? We're gonna be broadcasting this live, guys. If you're gonna be showing up, make sure that you show up. The best ability is availability. We need everybody on screen when we come. If you can commit to coming and coming on screen, put some more flames in the chat. And I'm gonna ask Shaan now. Shaan, can you commit to the people and do something, a little special, diving into that?
I think I can do that.
Right.
I think I can do that. If you guys are going to be there and you want to know more about how to speak to eat, right? That's one thing that I always said, that if you can't speak, you can't eat. Because if you can't articulate, if you can't frame a thought coherently that explains to the listener why it's important, why it's of grave importance that they make an investment, even if it's just the investment of attention. We live in a 3-second world, guys. I taught that in Branded Like a Leader too. We live in a 3-second world, and we live in what has become an attention economy. An attention economy. If you can't hold someone's attention, long enough for them to understand the importance of the words that are coming out of your mouth, then you won't be able to eat. You will not be able to provide for your family. If you put people to sleep, if you make them look at their phone, if you make them look at their watch while you're talking, and you make them look over your shoulder, that's called having an uncommanding presence. This is so important, even on your job. If you want to keep that job or move up in that job, you have to be able to hold attention. Your ability to command presence and hold attention will be the definitive key to growing your business, your brand, and your bank account. Business, brand, and bank account in 2022 and beyond. Right? So I'll be there. I'll be there. The question is, will you? Deuce, deuce, no excuse.
That's right. Deuce, no excuse. And I want to say thank you so much. I have one final question, one final request from the audience. Can you commit to inviting one or two people that you know need the skill? They need to build their bank account.
Yeah.
How many of you put it in the chat? How many of you know somebody who needs this skill, who needs to build their bank account? Put a one in the chat. If you know somebody who needs to do this desperately.
Brand, business, and bank account, guys.
Brand, business, and bank account. Put a one
Brand,
in the chat.
business, and bank account.
If you know somebody, maybe somebody in your family, maybe one of your friends, maybe somebody that you work with, if you know somebody who could benefit from this skill of speaking and who could benefit from being on that meeting with us tomorrow,
Let me tell you,
put those numbers in the chat.
let me say this, right? There is nobody who can't benefit from this skill. There's absolutely no one. I tell my children, like, your best skill when it comes to persuading others to see the implications of your opinion and your perspective is your ability to communicate. Never forget, Warren Buffett said that the most important investment that he ever made was in a Dale Carnegie speaking training. That's Warren Buffett, one of the richest investors ever to be, ever was. And he says the best investment, real estate everywhere. Everywhere you go, you see Berkshire Hathaway. From Long Island to Miami, everywhere you go, you see Berkshire Hathaway. But he traces his success back to that speaking training. Speaking training. Everybody has two lips and a mouth. And most people have the ability to speak. You can make sound come out.
That's right.
Right? But if you can't make sense, if you can make words come out, but you can't make sense, and you can't captivate an audience and win them over to your perspective, make them vote for your perspective with your dollar, with their dollar, and convert into your audience. If you can't make it an audience, your audience, through oration skills, you're going to have a hard time competing in this world.
That's right.
You're going to have a hard time succeeding in this marketplace.
Very true. And guys, the link. So I need you to do one more thing. And thank you so much. Like, put some flames in the chat for you. You've been an amazing, amazing audience. Like, I have one
Yes,
more.
yes, you have.
One more thing. The link is in the chat. What I need you to do right now is to prove your commitment by registering right now. So click on the link in the chat right now, register. And after you're done registering, I need you to put some flames in the chat. It happens in like literally 5 seconds. It takes 5 seconds to register for this meeting. After you're done registering, just put some flames in the chat to let us know Hey, I'm registered for the meeting. For my people who already registered, go ahead and register again. So put some flames in the chat after you've registered for this
This will
meeting.
be a mini training, guys. I'm gonna give you a mini training on speaking as a pre-frame to speaking like a leader. For those who have been through any of my programs, you already know what that means. You already know what that means. Bring water, bring paper, and bring pen.
And be on camera because this is speaking and you can't speak. Like if people
Oh
can't speak, how
yeah.
can you speak if people can't see you, right? That's
Huge piece, huge
right.
piece. During this training, let me go ahead and say that during this training, if you're not on camera, don't even come.
Don't even come.
Don't even come. During this training, if you're not on camera, don't even show up. Don't even show up because presence is everything. Don't think your presentation, you cannot command a presence if you're not professional.
That's right. That's right. So guys, so this training is not for you if you're afraid of being professional. This
That's
is
right.
not for you if you don't have big dreams. This is not for you if you don't desire a life that is greater than what you currently have. This is not for you if you don't want to build your brand and if you don't want to build your bank account. But if you do, if you want to put a zero on the back of your number, then this is
Yeah.
definitely for you.
I'm going to show you how to do that.
That's right. So Shan, as we end, right? I'm gonna ask the people one more time to put some flames in the chat for themselves because they've been a phenomenal audience. Thank you so much for coming out. Any closing comments that you want to make about tomorrow?
Come ready to learn because what I'm going to teach you is going to help you to immediately monetize. Yes. So, what I'm going to teach you, you're not going to have to wait to implement. What I'm going to teach you, you'll be able to immediately transfer for cash in the marketplace. You just have to be able to take action. Number one, you have to show up on time, show up on camera, show up on point. On time, on camera, on point, and ready to monetize. I'm going to show you how to build your brand, your business, and your bank account tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Leadership Leverage Executive Community Call at 7. Let's grow.
Let's go, guys. Thank you so much. Have a phenomenal day. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's go.